Hello! Last week I went out to visit my dad in Clunes, Victoria, and I took him to the local Lambley nursery and gardens. He's able to move around a bit more, although I don't know if he's ever going to recover fully from his broken hip of last year. But isn't this a beautiful place, and we had such gorgeous weather on this day? So many people have asked to see him paint with that peg and awl box, so today he's going to do just that. A few weeks ago I posted a video taking a look at the peg and awl Scout plein air box in my studio, but of course there's nothing like actually using it on location. He's using one of the little ampersand aqua boards that came in the set, and he's got his Sennelier watercolours squeezed into the palette that came with the box as well. And here's the view that he is painting. It was a perfect day. The weather was about 24 degrees after the cool change had come through from the previous day when it was 40 degrees and hideously hot. I'm very glad we got some nice weather and an opportunity to go out. Of course I'd realised far too late that Dad didn't actually have a tripod, and I could have brought one from home because we do have a few spare ones from my photography days. We actually did go out to Ballarat a few days later to get him a tripod, but for today he's using his walker to sit the box on, which worked out pretty well, and he's sitting on a park bench. This was the first time that Dad had actually used the box, because he said he'd been a bit nervous to use it. He didn't know where to start or where to go. And because the box does cost a lot of money, it was pretty daunting, I think, just breaking it in. But once he got set up here, he was away painting really easily, and he got into the groove of things pretty quickly. Every so often he would say, "I'm really enjoying this," so that's a good sign. He also liked painting on the ampersand board. It took the watercolours actually really well, although there is quite a large drying shift, and so you really do need to add a few layers. But I wouldn't mind buying a few for myself at some point to try them out, because they seem really good, and I like to try different painting surfaces. Did I do any painting myself today? I did not. I was too busy hovering around Dad trying to get the best camera angles, but also because I was just fascinated watching him. I've seen him paint before, but never outside like this, and I was just really happy to see him using the box and enjoying himself so much. I do have to say that that peg and awl box really is gorgeous, and I like it a lot. It is very heavy though, so it's kind of impractical if you have to hike a long distance, or even if you're going to fly in a plane, but if you've got a car and you're just driving to easy places, then this box is fantastic. You can see how absorbed my father is painting his picture. I think he'd forgotten I was there. He was in the painting zone, which is the best place to be. So I'll let you watch a little bit of his painting without me talking incessantly, and I'll come back in a bit. I may have gotten distracted by this bird in the top left there. It's a New Holland honey eater, and because we were sitting there so quietly, it was happy enough to flit about in this bush, feeding from the nectar. While Dad was still painting, I thought I'd have a quick wander around some of the other parts of the garden, because even though I'm not painting today, I was taking a lot of photos because there's plenty of potential future paintings to be had, and reference photos to add to my collection. I don't know what these fluffy things are, but they're really neat, and they also had some beautiful yellow flowers, which contrasted really nicely with the blue sky. Does anyone know what this plant is? Let me know in the comments. They also have a bit of a farm going, and lavender as well. It really is a fabulous place, and I will link their website in the description below so you can check them out if you live locally. I highly recommend going. And I really love the magpie statues. Here are some of the photos I took. Anyway, back to Dad. Here he is on his bench, still still happily painting away. I think this was really good for him. It's been a long, slow recovery. So getting out and painting is always a really therapeutic thing, especially in the fresh air. And there's that little honey-eater bird still there feeding off the flowers. Dad's painting was really coming along at this point. And I think in total we were out there for about an hour and a half. It was a really enjoyable time. And I think this experience has given Dad quite a lot more confidence in going out and painting. I think it's also going to be a lot better now that he's got the tripod. I'll show you a photo of that at the end of this video. The walker worked well enough for this day though, even though those handles are kind of annoying and getting in the way of my footage. It's alright, I just worked around them. You could see Dad's also using one of those clips that came in the Paganol box just to secure the painting and make sure it didn't slide off. Because he's painting in portrait format, he could only use one of the straps to hold the aquaboard in place. If painting in landscape, it will sit nicely on both of the straps. But the bulldog clip works just as well to hold it. Usually with these things there's always a workaround. He was just adding finishing touches to his painting, and sometimes it was actually easier to hold it in his hand rather than resting it on the Paganol box. But it does look really neat when you see all of the paints and pots being used. So I hope this little video has satisfied your curiosity to all the people who requested seeing Dad using his Peg and All Scout box. Myself included really in that. I also just want to give a huge thank you to my father who allowed me to film him. Not everyone is comfortable with that, but he seemed to be fine and didn't really notice that I was there. I think he did an amazing job, and I just love the finished painting. Let him know what you think. The best part is, the ampersand board with the painting on it fits right back into the box. I just think that is fantastic. And here's the Peg and All box on its brand new tripod, all ready to be used for Dad's next painting session. And a photo of me and Dad at the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's the Peg and All video that I made a couple of weeks ago. I'll see you all again in my next video. Swatch you later. Bye.